I just had an asthma attack, but I'm gonna cut that out.
It's like somebody sitting behind me in the camera. Really?
Hey everyone, it's Christine. Welcome to ParanormalTV if you're new, and welcome back if you're not. So I am going to do something that I rarely do on my channel, and that is rant. I debated doing this for so long. For like maybe a year now I've been debating it, and I just decided, I'm going to talk about it because I feel like if you are a paranormal investigator in general, you get this a lot. But if you are a paranormal investigator and you're uploading on YouTube or any type of social media platform, then you definitely understand where I'm coming from with this. And you probably know what the topic at hand is because I'm pretty sure I'm putting it in the title. And that is, do not tell other people how to investigate. I do think that there are things that most investigators should apply, and I would say that would be, for the most part, do not antagonize spirits and to be respectful of your surroundings and the history and the spirits and all of that. However, if you are a person who likes automatic writing, go ahead and do that. If you are a person who only likes to do EVPs and video imaging and things like that, that is what you're hoping to catch evidence on, by all means do that. If you love the spirit box, use the spirit box. If you hate the spirit box, don't use the spirit box. But do not try to push your personal preferences onto somebody else or your personal beliefs onto somebody else. We all have different beliefs, and of course we believe what we believe is correct, and that's it. But you know what? At the end of the day, we don't know. We do not know what is on the other side. We do not know we were right. We could be completely wrong, and that's okay. I will upload an investigation, and there's a slew of different comments that I will get, and messages, and tweets, and Instagram posts, and or Instagram comments, and all of that. I get a slew of different ones. A lot of people are supportive. Other people will have constructive criticism, which if it's constructive criticism, that's perfectly fine. If it's ignorance, then that's a little different. Constructive criticism I will get, and sometimes I apply that to my videos. I have taken people's advice and I have tried to work it into the way I investigate at times. I will get a lot of support, which I think is amazing, but then there are some people who will come in and tell me what I'm doing is not correct and they know more than I do. They might not sit there and say, I know more than you do and you are wrong, but they will highly imply it in their comments, and it steady gets on my nerves. I personally believe that we all only know so much, and for anyone to sit there and say they know the answers, I do not believe you. I just don't believe you. I'm sorry. I believe you have theories and I have theories, but do we know if they are correct? No, we don't know. And it's perfectly fine to tell people what you believe as long as you're not trying to force that belief upon them. And I had gotten a bunch of comments from this one person. And at first we were having kind of a discussion, and then I felt like this person was like, they were writing so much. And they would just kind of like repeat themselves, and they would try to sound smarter than me. And it was like, all because I did something in investigation, or I used a tool in investigation that he didn't like to use. I had told him, the way I investigate is I like to use all sorts of things. So I will do EVPs, I will use my EMF detector. I will note temperature changes. I will use a spirit box. Sometimes I use dowsing rods, not all the time, but sometimes I use dowsing rods. I have a laser grid. I have a lot of tools, you know, that I will use during an investigation. Sometimes I use them all. Sometimes I use a few of them. And that is because I like to try to validate each thing. For an example, I did a video which I would consider more of like a ghost hunting video than an investigation. It was more of a lighthearted type of video, but I did a video with my friend Natasha. Natasha reads tarot cards, so she read Spirit's tarot cards while we used this app to test it out. We tried to validate the responses we were getting from the app with the cards, and it was kind of strange. I will throw it up in the cards. It's actually one of my favorite videos I ever did. It was a lot of fun, but it was kind of strange to see correlations between the two and to see them quite often throughout the process.
Maybe it ended
badly.
Why did you have an affair? Oh, that's weird.
I'm making... Oh,
that's the lover's card.
That is weird. So I will use that in all of my investigations, though. You know, I will do EVPs, and if I get an EVP that correlates with some responses that I got off a spirit box, that's great. You know, it's not super random. It kind of validates each other. And if another person doesn't like to do that, that's perfectly fine. I know a lot of people who don't like the spirit box, and you know what? It's not my favorite, but I like it, and I will continue to use it. But you don't have to like the spirit box to watch my investigations. I don't only use the spirit box. It's not the only thing I do through an investigation. But this person was so focused on the fact that I used the spirit box and the fact that I also used the dowsing rods. They also complained about the temperature changes and how I didn't document it enough. The one thing I need to stress to you guys is that I do an investigation between 2 to 3 hours, typically, maybe longer sometimes, and I can't show you everything. I mean, I could. You would be really bored, but I could. It would be very long, and I can guarantee you probably wouldn't even get through 20 minutes of it, but I could upload it all. It would be very boring. I'm not going to show every single time I document a temperature change, because you know what? If it drops 2 degrees, I'm not going to always say, oh, it dropped 2 degrees. I will note it in the investigation, but I might not put it in the final video. It might not make the final cut of the video because the video is condensed. You know, I want it to be enjoyable for you guys to watch, and sometimes I will add in more information in the description, and that's how I will tell you more information, but I will not sit there and document every time it goes up a degree and down a degree for you guys to put it in a video. Like, it's just boring. You're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate the video. We will be here forever. It will never end. You know, I do these things on an investigation, but does it make the final cut of the video? No. I'm not gonna say what investigation they were commenting on. I have many investigations, so you guys can take your guesses if you like. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of getting a little annoyed with them because I was like, look, you know you're not seeing everything. If you're an investigator like you say you are, you know you're not seeing the whole investigation. Because, like, I think the video at most was like 20 minutes. So you know you're not seeing the full investigation. It would be one thing and the person was like, I just have a question. Did you document more temperature changes than what you showed? That would be fine. You know, I would get that. But to sit there and tell me, like, oh, you're doing it wrong because you didn't document the temperature changes enough, you weren't there. It drives me nuts. Because, of course, I'm not going to put 15 minutes of me talking about the temperature in a video. I'm just not going to do that. I think that my viewers would very much appreciate that. And then when it comes to just disagreeing with equipment, I think it's perfectly fine if you comment and say, you know, I'm not really a big fan of the spirit box. I prefer to use this on my investigation, but to sit there and tell me that my investigation was a fail because I did incorporate the spirit box for just a few moments, I disagree with that. I think we can all learn from each other as well. I think that we all have something to add. And I think it's a shame people do not just articulate themselves in a nicer manner. And I hate this, like, oh, I know more than you and I know more than you type of mentality. It drives me nuts. I will be the first one to ask for advice if I don't know too much of what I'm diving into. You know what I mean? Like, say I was doing a case that was supposedly demonic. I would need a little bit of assistance with that. I feel like I would need a little bit more assistance with that. There was one time, actually there was twice, where I will say it was possible that something like that came through. I can't say for sure it was, and because of that, and because I am pretty green to that type of case, I would definitely ask for advice from somebody, and I would value their advice. But I just feel like a lot of people play this game as where they know more than you do, and they're smarter than you, and they're gonna try to one-up you in the comments and tear you down. And I don't like that mentality. You know, a lot of the people that I watch on YouTube use things that I may not personally believe in, or they will put in orbs in their evidence. I personally think a lot of times an orb is dust or a bug or a light anomaly, and I don't think that orbs are paranormal. I would say at least 85% of the time I would feel like an orb is not paranormal. A lot of the people that I watch, will put in orbs all the time. If there's an orb that flies by, they will put that in their evidence. Say, well, could this be paranormal? And I don't go in the comments saying, oh my gosh, that was just dust. Why would you add that in there? You know what I mean? Because I believe it's probably just dust, but do they? I mean, there were 2 times out of all the years I've investigated that I can recall where I had an orb show up in a video or a footage where I was like, whoa, what is that? I've been investigating for quite some time now. So for that to be the only 2 times I can recall ever having an orb show up and be like, that's weird, that's telling as to my personal belief of orbs. I do think it's possible that some orbs are spirit activity showing up, but I do think the majority of the time that I see an orb in a YouTube video is not. I'm not saying that that is the case for every video I've ever watched that had an orb in it, but for a lot of them, yeah, I do. I don't believe that's paranormal, but I don't go in the comments and tell them, you know, your investigation was a fail because you believe that that orb is a spirit and I believe it's dust. I don't go into the comments and tell them, you don't know what you're talking about. Because at the end of the day, it's a belief system and we all have different beliefs. And I just think that you should respect that. And I feel like I'm talking in circles now. I feel like we're the strange ones in the paranormal community. Like, we are odd. And I feel like we should support each other because I feel like we're not the majority, you know what I mean? I feel like we're the oddballs, we're the weirdos, and we need to support each other. If you are investigating and you see an orb and then you believe that that orb is a spirit, I'm not going to sit here and debate with you unless you ask me for my opinion. And if I pull out the spirit box in one of my investigations and you're just rolling your eyes like, oh, the spirit box, fast forward a few minutes, because I can guarantee you that that spirit box is not going to be out the full time unless it's purely a spirit box session. It's not going to be out the full time. And one thing with the spirit box that I forgot to touch on, if I use a spirit box, I will get comments saying that I shouldn't use the spirit box, it's a waste of time, it's contacting radio stations, it's not paranormal. And I get that. But then when I don't use the spirit box, I will get people commenting, why wouldn't you use the spirit box? You should get a spirit box. Don't you have a spirit box? So, I can't make everyone happy. I just can't. I can try, but I will fail. And I hope you guys don't take this personally because I'm not pinpointing any of my subscribers. I don't think the people who comment and are rude to me are my subscribers. subscribers, I think there are other people who stumble upon my channel that I just felt like I needed to get this rant off my chest. One last thing that I want to touch on though before I end the video is that I personally believe that I'm not doing anything wrong contacting spirits. I don't think that I'm contacting purely demons. Is it a possibility? Sure, I guess, if you believe in demons. However, I get that a lot too, is that I shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to hell. I'm not saved. I'm not a Christian. Yada, 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 yada. Those comments need to die as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this rant, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.